Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm in Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City at a firing range where Desert Tech does their testing of their new firearms. The firearm that we came out here this afternoon to see is the new Bullpup, which is called the MDR. This rifle made its debut at the SHOT Show in 2014. Then it was just a 3D modeled mock-up. This is a working prototype. This one's in 5.56, but we've also been out here shooting the 308 version of it. They tell me when the rifle comes to market, it will come to market in two calibers, 5.56 and 308. So we're out here again today to shoot the prototypes. Now this is a third generation prototype. This is not a production ready firearm yet, but we came out to shoot it, play with it, offer our feedback, and let you guys take a sneak peek at what's due to come out sometime in late 2015. Let's get going. Desert Tech hosted the event for gun riders, so I was one of several folks along for this trip. We arrived at Salt Lake and were set up in a lodge owned by Desert Tech where we would spend the next couple of nights. We were taken to the range by van where we would spend a full day being briefed on the new MDR rifle and shooting it. Once at the range, the rifles were brought out and made available for the gun riders to shoot. The rifles provided were pre-production prototypes that were still in the evolutionary stage. We primarily shot the 308 version of the rifle as it was the most advanced in terms of function. I found the rifle to have a very good trigger and the recoil was easily controlled. All of the controls were where I would expect them to be, and overall I found the rifle to be quite comfortable to operate and shoot. The forward ejection system seemed to work quite well. What's interesting about the design is that the ejection port cover is an integral part of the forward ejection system and allows the rifle to be comfortably fired from either the left or right shoulder with no concern being given to the location of the shooter's face. The MDR borrows from some of the design concepts of other popular firearms out there. The guys at Desert Tech, first of all, told me that they really wanted to take all the features of the AR-15 that most AR-15 shooters appreciate and love and roll that over into a Bullpup, but also they took some design inspirations from some other popular modern firearms such as the ACR. One of the features they tell me they liked about the ACR was the quick change barrel system. Another rifle that they considered in their design was the H&K G36. Of course, the G36 is polymer, and it also has a very slow cyclic rate on full auto, something that they really liked. The MDR has a pretty slow cyclic rate. And another gun that's really popular is, of course, the HK Mk12. What they liked about the Mk12 was the charging handle, where it's located and how it operates, how it locks in the upward position. So all these different elements are rolled over into the MDR, which is, of course, a Bullpup. I'm here with Tommy from Desert Tech, and I'm holding the new MDR, and I just had a few questions for you, Tommy.
Sure.
So how did the design inspiration come about for the MDR? What started you guys on the path of a semi-automatic Bullpup?
Well, what we really wanted to do is kind of corner the AR market. We wanted to do something different. Everybody's obviously doing a bunch of different variations of the AR. We wanted to take kind of all the good things we saw from the AR and put it into one weapon system.
Okay, so basically, of course, we have all the benefits of a Bullpup, but it also has some really unique features. Yeah. So we have the forward ejection capabilities, and it's also capable of ejecting out of either side of the rifle. So not only can it eject conventionally, which would be more or less off to the 3 o'clock position, but it can kick those spent cases forward.
Correct.
And you guys have taken a different approach. Can you tell me a little bit about the ejection system and how you came up with the idea?
The forward ejection system is really what we wanted to do is create an ambidextrous rifle. Mm-hmm. So a left-handed and a right-handed shooter can shoot this from either side. Even if you're left-handed, you still can put that against your cheek and everything's going to forward eject, so not to come back at you. So that was kind of the design and the purpose of that.
Right, so it's really cool because a lot of Bullpups, if you fire things like the Steyr-AUG, you have to be very aware of where your face is because it ejects out the right-hand side. If you quickly transition to your left shoulder, you put your face just a little too forward and you're going to get brass in the face.
Absolutely.
This thing totally remedies that. No matter how far forward I put my face, it's still clearing that ejection sheet, which is really cool. Now, I notice you guys also are using polymers and steel in the construction of the rifle, at least in this particular prototype. Right. And let's talk about the prototypes. Now, guys, the rifle I'm holding here right now is not a production rifle. This would be a 4th generation, I can tell from the trigger, right here, for the magazine release. This is a 4th generation rifle, so there's going to be a few more evolutions of the gun before it actually goes into production. You'll probably see maybe, a 5th or 6th generation gun by the time you get to SHOT Show?
I think we're going to see a 5th before we see a final production model.
Okay. And I know I don't want to put a release date on this thing, but what are you guys targeting? Just a guesstimate, like into 2015?
Fall 2015 is what we're looking at.
And you're going to go to market with more than one caliber, I hope?
Absolutely. We're going to try to at least come with 2 calibers, being the 5.56 and the 308.
Do you guys have an idea of what you're going to target the price at?
We can't give that estimate out currently. We are still playing around with the numbers a little bit.
Okay. And when you convert it from one caliber to another, can you just kind of briefly tell us what's involved with that? I mean, what parts swap out? What do you change?
Obviously, it's kind of set up like our sniper systems where we have the barrel change system, and then you also have the bolt change. With the 5.56, you're going to have the magazine insert, obviously, to set the PMAC.
Okay, so basically you'll put an insert in the magazine well, you'll switch out the barrel and the bolt, and you're up and running with a new caliber.
It should be nice up and running.
Are you guys going to work on more than just a couple of calibers? I mean, what kind of calibers are you guys looking at right now?
Well, currently, what we're trying, the first models we're trying to get out the door, obviously, is the 5.56 and the 308. Obviously, you want to do 6.8, 7.62, and 300.
Outstanding. All right. Well, is this going to be available to law enforcement as a machine gun too?
It will be fully automatic, so that will be for obviously our military law enforcement customers, but semi-auto version for our obviously civilian market.
And will you cater to the NFA market for SBRs, people that want shorter than 16-inch barreled guns?
Absolutely, we will. We'll have a 10-inch MDRC that will be available.
Outstanding. Well, thanks for taking the time, Tommy. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Now, I know you guys have a lot of questions about the MDR. Some of the questions I can't answer. Details about how the forward ejection system works, they've asked us not to talk about or to show images of. This is very much a rifle that's still in development, and there are competitors out there that will look to steal the technology that this rifle employs, so there's certain things that we can't talk about. Now, the rifle as it currently sits, this is the FDE version. This would be representative of what a semi-automatic rifle would look like, even though this one is a select fire, I believe. Yeah. This is what you would see, something similar to this when it goes to market. This rifle weighs about 8 pounds, but they're working on bringing that weight down. Again, they're still very much working on the components, the design, the materials being used in the various components. So it's, I mean, just as an example, this lower is still 3D printed. This is not a production molded part. So the rifle is still being developed. They hope to have it ready, as we know from Tommy's telling us, sometime at the end of 2015. And don't get upset if they miss that launch date. I mean, they're trying to design a brand new rifle. So I hope to see it at the end of 2015, but we may not see it until 2016. They're very reluctant, I understand why, to give it a solid launch date. The rifle, as we already know, has a forward ejection system. It's multi-caliber. It's going to bring features to the market that other bullpups currently don't offer. And I know a lot of you guys are going to ask about the trigger. Granted, it's a prototype, but the trigger on this thing is outstanding. Desert Tactical is known for their triggers on their bullpups. They worked out the kinks in their bolt-action long-range gun, a rifle that you guys know that I love and shoot quite a bit. And so they've employed the same technology apparently in this trigger system, because the trigger on this thing is nothing like a bullpup trigger. It's a little bit heavy, but it's nice and crisp, and it feels like a factory AR-15 trigger, if you will. Probably a little bit better than a factory AR-15 trigger. This one is showing, or does have currently, QD mounts on it. We have a pick rail that goes across the top here. You can see where the front end of the handguard comes off, so you can swap this out. You can increase the barrel length, shorten the barrel length. They'll probably have different handguards available. The charging system right now is currently on both sides of the rifle. It's HK type. It's very easy to use, very ergonomic. The pistol grip feels really good. It sets nicely in the shoulder. Even with the 308, you can fire it one-handed, just like this. Most of the weight is right back here, just like on other bullpups like the Tavor. It's really interesting. And it's neat to see the different models that they've come up with. Now, this is a Generation 4, and I can tell that because it has this trigger system here to release the magazine, while it still has the magazine release up here on the front. So they continue to work on it, they continue to improve it. I'm really looking forward to seeing the final production version. If you guys are going to make it out to SHOT Show, you should probably swing by the Desert Tech booth and take a look at the MDR that's there. It'll probably have a Generation 5 gun, which will be even newer than this one, and that means they're getting closer to production. If you guys have any questions about anything you've seen in this video, you can ask those questions on our Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/military arms. I'll also put the link to Desert Tactical's website down in the description below. I also invite you guys to come by and check out Copper Custom, which is our online store. I thank everybody for watching. I really appreciate the subscriptions, and I will talk to you guys soon.